Hello again from Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This is a continuation in a series of videos about credit cards, posting credit card charges and payments, and in this particular video we will talk about posting a payment directly to the credit card company. In the previous videos we've talked about posting credit card charges, and like if you pay Joe the plumber or somebody, you post it to Joe the plumber and then you mark it as paid by a certain credit card, which increases the balance in the credit card ledger for that account. Now we're going to talk about when you've gotten a statement from the credit card company and you're ready to make a payment directly to the credit card company. And where you do that is you will post a payables bill and post a new payables record. And in this case, you will select your credit card vendor that we've been talking about that you could set up. We set up one called Discover and we posted a few charges to it. And after I select it, CHS is going to pop up and say, this is a credit card vendor. When a button is clicked to create a bill, a window will open to post the payment. So I'm going to click the button to create a quick bill, and a different type of window than normally opens will open. And you'll notice it says enter data for posting payment to credit card vendor. It shows the credit card vendor. And one thing here is if you have a statement in front of you and you've posted all your charges, and you haven't posted any charges yet that aren't on the statement, it might be that your credit card balance is exactly what your statement is. It shows as the balance. So then you could probably feel like everything was fine. Maybe you've posted a few extra charges that aren't on the statement yet, so this could be a little different. But you can close this window and open the credit card ledger if your balance seems to be different or there's something you want to study. And you can see the charges that have been posted to the credit card for this. In our videos we did these various charges and what makes up that balance if you need to look at it, and any previous payments, which we've not had any yet. We'll come back to this and you'll see how the payment we're going to do will show up on the credit card ledger. So I'm going to close that and I'm going to click to create the quick bill again. And we're going to decide that our invoice number is the date of our credit card statement, like 6 digits for the date, because they don't usually have an invoice number. So let's pretend like their invoice is dated March 10th. So, and this is the year 16, so I'm just going to use those for the invoice number. And there's a tip about that here. And I'm going to go ahead and pay off the credit card, the full amount of the credit card. But you could always just enter, what their minimum payment is, or $5,000, or whatever it is that you'd like to pay to the credit card company based on what their requirements are. But we'll go ahead and pay the full balance of our credit card statement. And so we've entered our amount and we tab, and then we're doing continue. And then what will happen is the normal window for posting bills will open. But there's going to be some things about it that are locked in, like of course you can't do any job. And here's the invoice number we supplied, but the GL account is locked in. You can't change it. It will be the credit card payable account that you attached to this vendor, Discover. And that's so that when you post the payment, there will be a debit to this 2133 credit card payable, which actually reduces the amount of the credit card payable when it's a debit entry. The only thing that you probably ever want to change once you get here is because you've already said the amount, description is already here by CHS, is the invoice date probably, and whatever due date they might have on it. Let's say they want it due by the end of the month. So that's about all you have to do there to get that going. CHS is controlling a credit card vendor so that the only things that you can post to a credit card vendor, and it'll show it in red, is to the credit card payable account that you attach to it. So let's do submit. And we're just going to post this as unpaid to pay later. So it'll be in a list of checks that we can run later. And you'll see those videos as we continue onwards about selecting checks to pay and doing check payment runs. We could look at our posted entries, and if we wanted to perhaps upload and attach a copy of the credit card statement right here, a scanned copy, we could do that with this upload icon, etc., just to keep hold of that copy. But I don't have anything else I want to do. I'm just reviewing it. The GL number, if I hover over it that it's being posted to, is credit card payable to Discover 6. You can see that if you hover over. And that right now this particular bill is unpaid. So let's close that. And let's go see, let's go to the accounting database, general ledgers, which I've already opened here. And I filled in some dates from the beginning of our entries to the end, just to be sure. And I put in that GL account 2133 for credit card payable Discover 6. And this is looking at the accounting records, the actual accounting. This is not the credit card ledger per se, although the credit card ledger is created from this credit card payable account. And it shows when we initially posted some bills to ProBuild, and we said they were paid by credit card, that credits went into the credit card payable, which increased the credit card payable account. And now that we've posted this Discover 6 credit card payment, a debit has gone into this 2133, and the total of all these records is 0. In other words, if we did a balance sheet, etc., or trial balances, this GL account would be showing up as 0. There's no credit card payable amount there anymore. We've paid the credit card off. So if you go to your credit card ledger, which will look a little different because it's styled to be a credit card ledger, I'll select that account and I'll continue. And you can see here that now here's our charges in this column. Here's our payments, or maybe we made some journal entry or whatever to it, but here's payments or other things happening. Usually it's just payments in this column. You take the charges, you take the payments, and you have a balance of 0 here for your credit card ledger. So CHS has taken care of posting the offset sides to that. Basically, what it's done is clear out credit card payable account 2133 in your accounting, and this amount, since we posted that bill to pay them as unpaid, would actually show up as part of your accounts payable account, which is, if you go to Home and you look at just AP aging as of today, the AP Control GL account is 2110 for accounts payable trade. And if you looked at the detail of unpaid invoices, let's group it by vendor, that make up the total of that accounts payable account, you'll find our Discover one in here because we posted it as unpaid. And it's here waiting to be paid out of accounts payable now. So essentially, what really happens behind the scenes, if you post that payment and then you post it as unpaid because you haven't printed a check for it yet, essentially the balance moved from the credit card payable and moved on over into accounts payable and is waiting to be paid. If we'd gone ahead and printed a check, then that Discover one would not be in here in the balance of the 2110 accounts payable account. Anyway, that's how you post a payment to the credit card company when you're ready to do so. And thank you for watching.